So, viewer townie question. What advice for dentists seeking a good practice to be an associate? Man, that is such a great question that it deserves to be illuminated. Basically, you're a dentist, you come out of dental school, you're all excited about something, you want to learn how to do place implants, you want to be with some dentists that place implants, maybe you're a cosmetic dentist, you want a cosmetic dentist. We know that. I mean, obviously, if you're into pediatric dentistry, you want to go back, work with a pediatric dentist. What do you want to learn? What gives you value, purpose? Some people are in dental school and everybody gets hit by something different. Some people, it might have been a little bonding case and then they just lit them up on cosmetic dentistry. It might have been placing an implant and they're immediately turned into blood and guts implant, root canals, whatever. We know that you're going to follow what you want to do, and I think you should go where you're going to learn those things. But equalize that, dude. It's always HR. I mean, you talk about you want to go work for a DSO. Well, the easiest question to do is walk in there and talk to the staff and just ask each one of them how long they've been there. When I talk to dentists that quit a DSOs, they say, well, God dang, every time they turn around, they're walking in there, they got a busy day, they're young, they just had a school a year or two or three, they got a big day, and it's another assistant. These temporary staff things, it looks so good on paper. Oh, your hygienist canceled, she called in sick. Well, let's get a temp in there. Yeah, complete freaking stranger. That's a really good idea. Same thing with dental assistants. I've seen more dentists quit from a temp. And in fact, for 30 years, my assistant Jan, we used to have a joke, a running rural joke that if I actually signed the prescription, the pharmacy probably wouldn't even fill it because I don't think I ever signed one. And number two is that if she's going to call in sick, she had to call me first so I can call in sick because I'd rather just call in sick than have to do a big case with someone I just couldn't even pick out of a police lineup. But usually they would shuffle, Chris Hickson or someone else right behind it, but it's all HR, man. You go into Parsons, Kansas, there's 3 dentists want to hire associate. How long is the average staff in there? I have sent letters to the SEC all the way since dental school, MBA school back in 98, 99, saying, how come I just can't look at airlines and say, okay, Southwest Airlines, average flight attendant's been there 5 years versus United Airlines. Why do you have to, why is it always just dollars and cents? Why is it just sales and revenue, numbers from the statement of cash flow, the balance sheet, the P&L? Why can't you tell us the human side of the settlement? Because there's quantitative and there's qualitative. And if I was going to go look for an associate, and I walked in there and the office manager's been there 20 years, the dentist's been there 30 years, the new girl, the new hygienist, they might have 2 or 3, and the new one's been there 7 years. That's a family. And yeah, every family in the world has their issues and all that, but I'd rather be in a working, functional family than some rotating door bullshit. And some of these DSOs are literally comical. I mean, some of the biggest names in DSOs, their average dentist doesn't even stay there 1 year. Can you imagine that? You're going in to be Walgreens or CVS. You're going to open a pharmacy chain, and what's the one thing you can't do? Retain a pharmacist. I don't want to make recommendations. I don't want to be fair to. I do know the person who's retaining him the longest is always the people that got skin on the game. Rick Kirschner, Comfort Dental. Love that guy forever. Him and City have done more for dentistry, but he doesn't even do associates. Everybody's an owner operator. You say, well, I just want to work here as an associate for a year or two. Go date someone else. We're not into daters. We want people who have skin in the game. If you got skin in the game, now every dentist is an owner operator. Look at franchises. Franchises like what's that chicken one?
Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A. My God, their average store is $1 million more than McDonald's, but you're only allowed one store. And then what's the kiss of death? Burger King and Subway, where some millionaire NBA baller decides I'm going to retire and buy like 10 of them. Well, hell, he doesn't even work one of them, and he owns 10. And these franchises that limited to one owner-operator. If a DSO chain did that, they said, okay, we're going to hire you, but we're going to make you an owner-operator. You can only work one location. God, what does that remind you of? Small-town family dentistry. I mean, the dentist that you grew up going to, did he move around like a gypsy every 3 or 4 months? Or did he stay there forever? So it's all employee turnover. It's all employee turnover. And I tell you what, when you go into a place, and you could go to visit 10 dental offices in a row, and 8 of them don't have anybody in the entire building that's worked in that building for 3 years, and the office has been there 10 years. And then you want to know why that one guy down the street has the big $1 million practice, because he's been there for 30 years and so is half his damn staff. It all comes down to the employee turnover. And that's the hardest part about life. I mean, figuring out math, physics, chemistry, biology, that's the easiest damn thing. Finding out how my 5 sisters get along, mom, your kids. I know I got 4 kids, 8 grandkids. God, just the other day, I went in there and I know Jasper likes Superman and Spider-Man, he's big into Spider-Man. And I said, there's Spider-Man. And he just lost it. And then I realized from his mother that he's only Spider-Man when he's dressed up in his Spider-Man pajamas. 60-year-old grandpa did not figure that out. And I massively messed up, and I won't do that again. But HR is everything. It's people, time, and money. If you learn all the nuances of how to talk to a human in the chair, how to make eye contact, and I still, every time I'm anywhere, if I see a dental office, if I'm walking down the street and 2 people are going to go in there and look at clothes or this, that, there's a dental, I just walk in the dental offices. I've walked in hundreds of, I walked in 2 this week while we were out. And the bottom line is, you go in there and the first question I ask is, how you doing? I talk to you. So how long you been here? How long you been in dentistry? And the standard answer is, actually, it'll be 2 years in March. Is that just here or your whole life in dentistry? Their whole life in dentistry. You just don't see anybody with roots, and if you get those roots, it's gold. The genius that beat this in my head was Estel Landworth in Wichita, Kansas, about 188 million years ago. And I walked in his office, and I always heard he was a legend. And I said to him, I said, who's that old lady up front in the? It's like it's in a wheelchair. It's like she was in a court deal. You know how you have a judge and you have the what's it called, the person, the witness stand, and they have a gate in there and everything. They had this gated 80-year-old lady sitting up there, and I'm like, what the hell is that? That guy at the time was older, and he said when he bought that practice 30 years ago, she was the office manager. And now he's as old as she is, and she just kept getting older and older, and as she got older and older, they just took functions away from her, and she didn't have any functions left, but she still wanted to come in. Every damn family came in, they're like, Martha, how you doing? And she's like, I used to change your diapers. And it's just that family, that trust. And Estel said it was priceless to pay her to do nothing, because there was not one man or woman in Wichita, Kansas that had been going there for 30 years and didn't come in there and just have to stop and spend 5 minutes with this saint of a lady who's known, so it's all the soft stuff, man. It's all the people stuff. And because it all is going to come down to trust. When you sell an iPhone, well, hell, you know what an iPhone is. You know what a pen, a Lexus, brand things. But when I look at you guys and say, yeah, you don't need a filling, you need a root canal bill, I'm crying, that's going to be $2,000. They're just looking at you thinking, damn. I mean, you can't Google that. I just can't Google, hey, Google, do I really need a root canal? It's all going to come down to trust. And they determine that almost instantly. All the research on it, like when you walk up to a girl in a bar, you know that within some 60 seconds, she knows if she would ever consider a relationship or dating or whatever with you or not. I mean, it's an instant deal. And my gosh, you got to learn that, because once you can fake trust, you can do anything. Go into politics. That was a joke. Next question.